people who are saying it, or people who are hearing it rather, need to also remember that. And I think, as I said, because I've always been who I am, people have always just sort of tried to tear me down. Accomplished a lot of things when I was younger that people at my age hadn't accomplished by that age. I was pretty intelligent and pretty creative and artistic and all that stuff. And I just think people didn't like the fact that I had such self-confidence, and yet they felt like I should be this wallflower who wilted in their presence. And I don't know how to explain it other than to say that. And so one of the problems I'm having writing my book right now is trying to convey that through the story in my memoir, is because in my entire life I've had to contend with that. And I don't really know how to explain it to people, as I'm trying to figure out how to express it through the book or through action or whatever. But it has always been an issue for me, for other people. And for a long time, it was my issue. I thought there was something wrong with me. And it wasn't until I got older, in my probably early to mid 30s, that I realized that it wasn't my issue. It was everyone else's. If people don't like you because you are fabulous, or because you like yourself, even if you aren't fabulous, if you don't consider yourself to be fabulous or great or perfect or beautiful or whatever the case may be, if other people if you deem yourself to be beautiful, or perfect, excuse me, what am I trying to say? If you deem yourself to be fabulous, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what other people think about it. And I think that's another thing about me, and maybe this is how you are as well. I've always, and this is how I've been my whole life too. And I think this is another reason people don't like me a lot of the times at first glance, or without getting to know me, is because I generally don't give a fuck what people think about me that I don't know. If I don't know someone's a stranger, and they think they don't like my shoes, or how I'm dressed, or how I wear my hair, or what I look like, or what I'm driving, or what I do for a living, whatever the case may be, I don't give a fuck what they think, because I don't know the person. I have no investment in that person. Yet, if it's someone that I am close to and I love, of course, it's a different story. I care very much. But because I think that I have this air about me that's just sort of like, I think people take it as being snobbish, or being haughty, or above the fray. And in some ways I agree. I admit that I feel that I am above some people, and that's the truth. And I am above some people. Donald Trump's one of them. I feel like, there are some people who are just disgusting human beings. And I know that I'm a kind person, and I care about people in general and humanity, and I have a lot of compassion and empathy for people. And people who are bullies, or just spreading hatred or hate, or whatever the case may be, I do look at myself as being above them. So when people treat me that way, yeah, I do come across as being kind of haughty or whatever. And I'm okay with that. And I really am. And I have no issues with that. And no one else should either. And you shouldn't either. If you feel like you are someone who is, you like who you are, then like yourself. Just remember to love yourself and like yourself regardless of what the world around you tells you. You can't be a complete sociopath and not take into consideration what the world around you is telling you about yourself. If the world around you, if everyone's telling you you're an asshole, then you're probably an asshole. If the world around you, everyone's saying that you're, a great person, a great guy, then not even everyone, but a lot of people, then you probably are. So you have to take it in balance. Obviously, you don't want to be a sociopath and not give a shit at all what anything or anyone thinks about you at all. But you want to only care about what people who you care about think about you, because that's all that really fucking matters in the end. So you got to remember, rumors are, they are hurtful. They can be hurtful, and they can harm people's lives, and they can hurt people in general. But generally, most of the time, it's just people talking. It's just a bunch of bullshit, and you have to put that into perspective if someone's talking about you in a negative light. And the way I handle it is to show people that I'm the opposite of what people are saying about me. If I am indeed the opposite of what they're saying about me, then I show them that I am. And I'm always willing to prove myself in any way that I can if necessary, because I have nothing to hide, and I like who I am, and most people like me. So you have to remember that those are the things to remember when rumors are being spread. That one, you don't want to do it yourself. Don't buy into the, don't succumb to the pressure of spreading lies and rumors if you don't know what you're talking about. If you're telling the truth, that's one thing, and you know it for a fact, that's one thing. But if you're just gossiping to be, catty or mean or rude or whatever, that's just not an admirable trait in anyone, whether you're gay, straight, lesbian, bi, transgender, queer, intersex questioning, whatever you are. You have to remember that you are also the subject, probably, or have been at some time in your life, or will be for sure, the subject of a rumor or of lies or whatever, or someone trying to harm you in some way, verbally, through or socially. And as I've said, I've been the victim of it in my own life, but I've never. The other thing you have to remember is I personally have never actually done that myself. I've never. That I can recall. I'm trying to think if I can think of any particular situation. The only time I've ever put a social hit on someone, so to speak, is someone who had harmed me in some way or come after me. It's not my nature to go after people in that way. It never has been. I'm not someone who goes after people just because it's a sport or a joy or I like to see people suffer. I just don't, because I don't. I only do it in retaliation. And that's another thing about myself, is that people are like, oh, well, he's this really nice, sweet guy and everything. And then when they fuck me over, they're like, who the fuck are you? Because I'm like, I'm an asshole all of a sudden. And I am. I guess it's because I'm a Gemini. I don't know. But I could be a really nice guy or a really fucking big asshole. And I will be that if someone tries to hurt me or my family or my friends or whatever, because I'm loyal and protective of myself and my family and my friends. And I think that's understandable. So if you don't participate in the rumors, then it won't be an issue. And also, secondly, remember that try to be a better person and try to actually live your life according to how you want to be perceived. If you're someone who's, going out and drinking every night and getting drunk and sleeping with other people when you're married, or, like if you're, married and you're cheating on your wife, or if you're stealing from your boss, or I don't know, whatever the case may be, you can't expect people to think of you differently. You have to walk the walk. So if that's who you want to be known as, you want to be known as like this gangster, then that would work. But if you want to be known as a good person and a nice person, a kind person, whatever, which is most people want to be known that way, I think, then be a nice person, be a kind person, and don't just do it when people are looking. Do it at all times, because it'll come back to you generally, in my opinion. The other thing I want to talk about was I saw last night on, what was it called? True Life. True Life, they had it's on MTV, and True Life is a documentary series. I'm sure most of you have seen it or heard about it before. And they had two straight guys on there who are gay for pay, and they're in these porn movies online. Like one works for Sean Cody, the other one works for Broke Straight Boys. I think that's what I garnered from that. But they're completely straight, and I really believe them. And people say that all the time. Oh, gay guys, straight guys saying they're straight, but they're having sex with men. How could that be? I believe them, and I think it is completely possible for that to happen, because just because you're gay, for example, I'm gay, doesn't mean I couldn't sexually have sex with a woman. First of all, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't do it, and I don't need the money. But if I were going to do it, I wouldn't have a problem doing it. I mean, physically, I'm capable of having sex with a woman. I just have no desire to physically. And one of them, and so both of them, they made it very clear. Both of them had girlfriends and everything. One girlfriend knew, the other one didn't. And the one whose girlfriend didn't know, he is so not into guys, and it's not like he's grossed out so much by it. He just thinks of it as a job and the money. He just is completely not turned on by men, just like I'm not turned on by women. Like, for example, if there was some woman laying with her legs spread open, I would be turned off by that. And they told me to fuck her. No, that would not be good for me. So he had the same issue when the guys are fucking him, or vice versa. And he went so far as to take this experimental drug from Europe that's not even legal in America, which can poison you and can cause death and all this other stuff, to make himself hard. I mean, it's like 10 times as strong as Viagra or something like that, or have a stroke or something. So I mean, to be that desperate for money, I mean, I wonder if there's other options out there. I mean, I'm sure there are. He could work at a fast food place or whatever, whatever. But he's not going to make that kind of money there. So I wonder if what you think. I mean, do you think that straight guys can be gay for pay and not really be gay? And I honestly do think it's true. I think you can be straight and not actually be attracted and still have sex with men and not be attracted to them. Just like me being gay, I could have sex with women and not be attracted to them. It's perfectly possible. So anyway, it was an interesting show, so you should definitely check that out. Also, trans Transparent. I've talked about that on my show before. Talked about it last season. It's a great show. It's on Amazon. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can watch it for free. It's on Amazon. It comes back on Friday, I think, tomorrow or tonight. Actually, I think it's tonight. Actually, if I watch it tonight, binge watch it. But it's called Transparent. It's a great show, and it's based on a true story of a man who's like 70 or 69 or 70, and he's coming out as transgender, and it's about his family and how it affects his family and his kids and him, and it's a really great show. So definitely check it out if you haven't seen Transparent. I definitely highly recommend it. And the last thing I want to say is, fortunately, I'm going to be going to see Madonna in Atlanta on January 20th. January 20th, I think. And that'll be fun. That's the first time I've seen her forever, so it'll be awesome to see her. And she's an incredible artist. So if you haven't heard the new Rebel Heart the Rebel Heart album, definitely check it out, even if you're not a Madonna fan, and see if you like it. It's kind of more of a high. It's not, the thing about her music is, especially now as she's aged, is it's much more it's introspective. It's been that way for a long time, since Rebel especially, but it's introspective, but it's just more mature. And so, like, most of the songs today are like, ooh, get that ass, ooh, or whatever, or get that ass, or fuck me, or whatever. I don't know. It's just a bunch of like nonsense bullshit that the 2-year-old could write, and it's not really meaningful. And the thing about Madonna's music, in her songs and her lyrics, which she writes all of them herself, and has for all of her career except for a couple songs, has always been a woman who writes about her life and about examining her life and about that kind of stuff. So it's more of a high-end kind of album, introspective and mature, but it's really good music. I mean, to me, of course, and so definitely check it out if you haven't heard Rebel Heart. It's a good album. And also, by the way, Coldplay's new album is really good too. I know my show that I do with Christian and with Jason, that Christian said he hated Coldplay or something. He's like, ugh, but whatever. Fuck you, Christian, for listening. I love Coldplay. I always have loved Coldplay since I was in college. So I don't know what your problem is. But anyway, okay, so I'll be back whenever on to do the next show. And check me out, offlimitshow.com. You can also remember, you can call in. Don't forget to come to the Gay XYZ show that Christian and Jason and myself do every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on the dot Central Time. And we'll be doing the show this coming Tuesday, and we'll be having a call-in show again. I got everything to work for the call-in show, fortunately. So be sure to check that out. Come by and chime in and let us know what you're thinking, because we want to hear you. Also, you can always email me at Donovan, DONOVAN, at gayxyz.com, or Donovan at offlimitshow.com. Actually, info at offlimitshow.com if you want to contact me that way as well. Also, be sure to add me on Facebook or Twitter, and follow me on Spreaker and also on iTunes. So thanks for listening. I'll be back next time. Good night.